I have the manifesto right here from Eric Nays.
All right.
He went down every bullpen. I'm like, we don't have enough time for everyone, so we're going to focus on the big three: Trevor Stephan, James Karinchak, Emmanuel Clase. Before we get into it, you broke in 2007. I'll never forget it. You were at the Houston Astros. I'm playing for the Chicago Cubs. Grounder to second base. I'm like, let me take my time. I look up, and you are busting your tush down first base. You were like freak athlete. Take me back. You ended your career in 2020 comparing, because now all you see is this monster velocity.
Yeah.
And I still think the greats were the greats in our era and could pitch at any time, but it's kind of like these bullpen no-name guys that come out of the woodwork that are just throwing bullets.
Yeah, the whole drive line era and really just the science behind like how to throw harder, right? So
yeah.
the velocity, like if you saw someone throwing 95 in 2007 in the big leagues, it's like this guy, he's bringing it, like this is a different, at bat. Now, by the time it was 2020, 95 was like the new 90. It was like everyone's throwing 95. When they get up to the, the hundreds, the 98s, like that's where it's like, okay, I got to be a little shorter. But it all just becomes.
How did you prepare for it?
It all becomes timing and anticipation and just understanding. And they have more, just like, there's more science for the pitchers, there's more science for the hitters. And so we have the machines that can work the spin rate, the wiffle ball machines, the eye training stuff. So you kind of slowed it down. So no matter whether it was when I first came up in 2007, the guys that threw harder than the others were perceived harder. And, as when it moved up to 100 was like the new, 95, whatever, you perceive them differently. But you just adjust. You kind of match the frequency of what everyone's throwing.
All right, so Terry Francona is going to give the ball to Savali, and obviously he'll let him go. He's got that big hook, but at some point he's going to go to this filth. Trevor Stephan has showed up for this team. We're going to hit you with a couple boards after this awesome B-roll. He's got that ride four-seamer that no one seems to hit, and he's got one of the dirtiest change-up splits in the game. Devin, bring up the first board for me on his change-up and split right here. Highest whiff percentage on change-ups and splitters the entire season. Had anyone heard of Trevor Stephan before this year?
I mean, when you have a changeup like that, you're going to hear about him real quick. And I'm going to explain to you what I see right there that makes him. So no matter how hard you're throwing, it's like, what's the angle you're coming with and what's the arm action? Because what's the hitter actually seeing? And with Stephan's changeup right there, when the arm is coming at you, and you know this, DeRo, you were a great hitter for a long time. When the arm is coming at you faster than the ball and the ball's moving, so your eyes see this hand and ball, and it's coming really fast, and then the ball is slower than all of that. Plus, you've also, if he just shows you the fastball, which had late movement, which is late life, which misses barrels, because you're seeing it, and then it moves. So you have to respect the fastball, and then the hand comes at you fast, and the changeup just darts away. That's why you see this kind of numbers on his pitch.
Bring up the second board on him, because I couldn't believe this when I saw it too. Pitchers with a whiff percentage and a barrel percentage in the 95th percentile or higher. Okay, so no one's hitting them and no one's barreling them.
Holy.
So you think this guy's getting 2 innings tonight?
I mean, get all of the icy hot, all of the whatever you need, like numb it up, and there's no tomorrow. And honestly, you're not guaranteed another day in the playoffs. Like, you're not guaranteed to have another season to make the playoffs. So baseball players, they'll put everything into this, and everyone, all hands on deck. You could see 2 innings from him. This bullpen for the Guardians, they're going to lean on it quick.
So you were a high-energy guy. The guy they bring out to kind of set up Clase.
Hey, I love it. This is a fun one to watch.
Give me Karinchak.
And look, there's guys throwing harder than him, but look at all the, it reminds me a little bit of like a Lincecum, even though it's more of like the axe thrower angle, but it's just that funky body's moving everywhere. He's like a rubber band, but you remember, who was the guy that used to throw axes and just threw 88 by you with the over the top, but he's throwing it at 97, and that angle that he's coming from, there's the Uncle Charlie, just 12-6.
And how about this? You like when he gets fired up? Look at him.
He's got some antics, It's literally the wild thing. He's got the shoes, he's got the tight pants, he's got the stirrups.
Ted Barrett, he's running
check
his
the hair,
hands.
check the ears, check everything, check the belt.
And this guy wants the moment, right?
Hey, he likes to party.
Look at Ted. I don't feel anything. I used to spar Mike Tyson, by the way. You know that, Ted Barrett?
Yeah.
Partner. Bring up the boards on him. K per 9 leader since 2020. Look at the guys on this list.
Wow.
That's where he racks up. And how does he do it? Bring up the spin board. This is really cool. So you talk about the ultimate tunnel guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the perceived at home. This is coming out of his hand. So think of me pitching, ball coming out of my hand. My four-seamer gives the illusion of some serious rise, and then right off this same window, I'm bringing that dirty curveball right down. So you have to make a decision as a hitter.
Yeah.
I got to get him down in his zone. That's what you would tell yourself. But if he throws the curveball down there, it's strike three.
At the end of the day with this guy, you can't try to hit both. If you try to hit both, you're just going to be out. Like, there's no doubt about it.
You always on the heater?
Me? No. Heck no. I was a
gambling
fool? Looking, approaching.
Oh, I like that.
For this guy, I am going to look so bad on one of the pitches, but if he throws the other pitch, I will sit there and study, like, what is the one pitch, where does he get hit, and how? And like, is he getting, let's say, the four seam, everyone's fouling it off, popping it up. Well, now I'm going to approach that I want to hit this ball on the ground as hard as I can. I'm going to swing above where I think I'm even going to hit the ball. And I'm going to approach that ball like I'm looking for this four-seamer, and I'm not even trying to hit the ball. I'm swinging above the ball to hit it on the ground because everyone's popping it up. There's a reason big league hitters are popping it up. Yeah. So it's an anticipation, it's setting traps, it's a gamble. The only way you're going to hit a guy like this that nobody's hitting is to cheat, gamble, set a trap, and let it fly.
Well, this next guy can tell you what he's throwing.
Yeah, and
you can argue he's the dirtiest pitcher in the game, right?
Absolutely.
Just cutter slider at 100 miles an hour. You've been in the box against Mariano Rivera, right?
Yes, I have.
And it's funny, I honestly, once we get through this rip and do a few boards, I'll tell you a story about my first at-bat against Mariano Rivera. I thought he hollowed out my rib cage, and it was a strike. I actually closed my eyes. And then watch him doing it at 100 miles an hour. It's almost unfair to see. He sat at around 93 to 95 miles an hour.
I mean, he was 97 for a long time, Rivera.
Look at this. This is absolute just filth coming at you.
Yeah, it looks like a slider, but it's a fastball. It's pretty intense, the power that Clase has.
Bring up the two boards on Clase, and then Hunter. Look at this, stats among relievers since 2021.
Yeah, and I was his teammate when he came up with the Rangers, and yeah, I was like, never trade this guy, and we traded him, and the Guardians got a good one. I mean, he is something special. He's not afraid. He's confident. He closed the All-Star game. Choke up, and there's always, Lance Berkman said one of the greatest quotes of all time, there's always room for a miracle. I would just, if you're a Yankees hitter, you're not trying to take him deep. Take what he gives you, try to get a bloop and a blast, work the count, try to get him out of there. But, I mean, anyone can get hit. He's given up, he's got a 1.38 ERA. There's always room for a miracle, but he is something special, and he's a big reason the Guardians are where they are.
Study the tape.
I wouldn't waste too much time on that tape. You gotta get ready for the other guys. Like try to turn the page on that one.